Good morning. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about writing this message, and he brought up the question, well, what do you mean by sleep? Don't go back to sleep. He says, I think of sleep as relaxing. So that made me think just a little bit, change my thinking about what I was going to say. And so I looked up what the literal meaning of sleep. In the Old Testament, in Psalms, it's occasionally referred to as a sweet blessing of God. Sleep is a state of reducing mental and physical activity in which consciousness is altered and certain activity is inhibited. It is suspension of consciousness. Now, I will say that sometimes we do need to do this, but not all the time, folks. Metaphysically, what sleep means is spiritual dullness, sloth, or lack of watchfulness. In the New Testament, it is used to describe a spiritual heaviness that must be shaken off to remain awake. And especially in these days, in this time. So I just thought that would be interesting to see what it means. You know, there's an old adage that says you can never go home again. And what this means is everything is changing continuously. Nothing is the same. You know, if I went back to Colorado to visit, it wouldn't be the same. People have changed. I have changed. The land has changed. So when we are going through life and we are learning and opening spiritually and becoming spiritually aware, those jaw-dropping, eye-opening spiritual growth usually comes from large earth-shaking events in our lives. It's not from the reading and discussing spiritual philosophy and taking classes. It's things that really shake us up and make us stop and think and look at the world with different eyes. And sometimes when this happens, what we need to do is to take a nap. And it's okay to take a nap. It's not okay to go back to sleep. Our bodies, our minds, our spirits sometimes need time to adjust to the amazing information that we have gained, that special awareness. It takes energy to grow spiritually. Energy not only physically, but mentally and spiritually. And so sometimes we just need to stop, take a few breaths, take that little nap, but make sure you set your alarm. Your alarm can be your favorite music. Your alarm can be meditation. It can be talk with a friend, but some type of alarm to say, okay, you've rested, you've had a chance. Now, with this new knowledge, let's get going. Let's go on with the adventure. Let's just go ahead and continue with what we're doing. Life is a journey. It is not a destination. We need to be actively participating to set an example. How do we do this? Well, we remember the truth of who we are. What we go through in life does not define who we are. It's simply that it's things that we go through. It helps us on our spiritual journey, but it does not define us. Because the truth, the honest truth, is that each and every one of us is a unique, individualized expression of the divine, that we are perfect right here and right now, and that we are loved exactly the way we are, We don't have to change. And the more we study, the more we grow, the more we keep our eyes opened and live in our truths and stand in our truths and are true to ourselves, the brighter we become, the better the example we set for others. When we live in our truth, life opens up. John O'Donohue said, "Of the many callings in the world, the invitation of an awakened and full life is the most exhilarating. This is the dream of every heart." So in other words, when we sleep, when we forget, I don't want to be that anymore. I want to go back. Well, for myself, I don't think I could go back to being anything other than who I am now, and hopefully to continue. But it's an adventure. And for those of you who know me, you know my life is one adventure after another. And I keep looking forward to more and more adventures, because with each adventure, I grow mentally and spiritually. When we awaken, when we're awake and we're full of life, we can look and we can recognize old patterns and make the conscious choice to change them, to work on our truth and and allow ourselves to grow. It's a choice. Again, everything in life goes back to that choice. I can choose to sit here and go back to sleep, or I can choose to say, okay, hey, I had a great nap. Now it's time for me to go and become more active spiritually. And actually, that's what's happened to me here in St. Lucia. When I first came, I chilled. I really chilled for a while. And then it was like, okay, it's time to get busy again. And I have become so busy and so active and doing so many things. And my mind just keeps expanding. And I keep realizing more and more things. Guys, it's fun to wake up. It's fun to face the adventure. It's so much fun to grow spiritually. Sometimes it's tough. I'll admit it. Sometimes it's really tough. But when I look back on my life and I look through those tough times when I have grown so much spiritually, now I realize how wonderful the experience was. And I look forward to many more. And so, please, don't go back to sleep. Look at all these adventures that are in front of you. Look at all the possibilities and all the probabilities. Look at what you can do and reach out and grab life and explore, experience, and grow spiritually. Don't go back to sleep. Thank you very much.